Our tip of the week this week is going to be publishing a presentation. When we are talking about publishing this, we're going to be using our publisher set. That's that last icon in our Navigator. So ideally, you are going to be using a different layout publishing set for the different formats that you're publishing out to. So if you're using a batch output, we can do a print plot, have a layout for a DWG, a PDF, a BIMX, an IFC, or a JPEG, and there's a lot of other file formats that we can use for that. We access these from our Navigator or your organizer. So if we're in our Navigator publisher sets here, by looking at the publisher sets, we can create a new publisher set here and make this our presentation set, okay? Or we can choose one of the ones that's already created there. So we would name that as our presentation set within the dialog box. Now, what is our publishing method going to be? You'll select your publisher set that you're working from, and then we're going to go into the settings box by clicking this icon here. It's going to bring up our publisher set properties. We're going to choose our publishing method, and if we're printing it, it's just to say print, okay? We can also save files. If you're choosing to save your file, we would need to set the destination, so the path where that's going to, what type of file structure we're going to be creating. So a single file is going to put all of your sheets that are in this publisher set in one file. Creating a folder structure is going to give you a folder structure similar to how it's brought into the publisher set itself. So it'll create the folders and subfolders based on how you've set up your publisher set here, or create a flat file structure, meaning that every single page will have its own individual file. We name this file, choose a path for it to go to, if we are putting in an information set, and then what type of format we are publishing out to. Plotting is also another method we could use. Again, going into our publisher set properties here, our publishing method would be to plot. By choosing a BIMX method, so BIMX is a provided service by Graphisoft. It provides a really neat walkthrough of a project, linking all of the sheets and views together for a client to view. When we're doing this, we do have to remember that we have to have an ArchiCAD user ID to save that, because it is a ArchiCAD product, and where that is going to. And because hopefully our idea is to share this, we would choose public or private, okay? And if we choose private, we can password protect it. And then you would send instructions along. So there's a program or an app, whatever you call it, for whether you're looking at there's a desktop viewer, and then if you're looking on it on mobile or your iPad, there's different apps to download for those as well. So now that we have our publisher set up with the settings, now we need to start adding the sheets and the views that are going to be saved at that. I always like to do that in the organizer. So by choosing the organizer, we can have two different parts of our Navigator open at the same time. So I always keep the left-hand side as my saved views and the right-hand side as my publisher set that I'm setting up. And then it's a simple drag and drop of the sheets or the views that you are going to be putting into that publisher set. Okay, we can drag things into different folders, different locations. We can rename any of these saved views so that it's more appropriate to the publisher set that you're using. So we can bring both saved views and sheet sets over to that. We can drag and drop, or we can select any of our sheets and add a shortcut over there, and then sort it from there. We can bring full folders. So if I have a subfolder within cover sheets, if there's multiple sheets in here, if I drag over the entire cover sheets folder, it brings all of those over. and keeps it in that file structure. Okay, so once we have everything set up that we are going to be publishing, there's a couple different ways that we can publish this. So we can choose, let's say I only want my floor plans to publish from this set for just for right now. I could select the elements that I want to publish, and this icon right here, have that flyout and say selected elements only. Okay, and that would only publish out these floor plans. Layouts in the current issue or the entire set, which means everything that is in this publisher set versus everything that's actively in that folder